Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. It looks like we have a new Duality Evo Cup. I was expecting the one with the Z06, but instead we got the one for the Continental GT3 Pikes Peak. No complaints. Any Evolution Cup that includes a final prize car is going to require your two cars to be basically fully maxed, particularly when the two cars are generally pretty bad. If these cars were super fast without all their stage 6s, that's one thing, but unfortunately these are not. They're not terrible cars. Well, I should take that back. They are pretty terrible cars, and you really need to have them basically fully maxed to get anywhere. And Evolution Cup first race, you can see that it is already pretty challenging. 7.9 on race 1 for my Lexus, which is locked in first. Now, if I had locked in the Bentley first, the race might be a little different, but it wouldn't make that much of a difference in the long run of things. In the end, all these races on these 20 are going to be real tough, and if you don't have basically your cars fully maxed or ready or close to it, you're going to basically have a difficult time trying to get this done. So let's keep going and see just how challenging it gets. Now, I didn't bother to look up the shift pattern for the Lexus. I'm just winging it. I figure if I'm fully maxed, as long as I get close to the dyno, I should be good. I think I'm only missing like one Epic Fusion when I started the Duality Cup, which I think one of the red ones I got was the one I'm missing, or one or two of them I got is the ones I'm missing. So I'm in pretty good shape to fully max this car, but it's kind of pointless because the car's not that good. And you know, you're always kind of hoping there'll be a better Lexus to come along. Now, for newer players, the Lexus to build is still your elite tuner one and not this one. This one's just not that good. Okay, so it looks like my next race is going to be Red Challenge. That either means that it's going to be super fast or it's probably a sprint. No, it's a, wow, okay. Let's see how it goes. I mean, if it's telling me it's going to run faster than my 7.6, I'm going to be in deep trouble. Well, I guess it would be red because it's so close to taking you down. That's a 7.8 run from the opponent. Let me just add some gas. I should have done that before I started the video, but hey, you know, it's late, I'm tired, and I jumped into this thing just to see if I can get my hands on that Pikes Peak, build it real quick with some low upgrades just to see if it's any good. I mean, the real question is, you know, we're spending all this effort on these cars. Am I actually going to be benefiting from all this work to get this done, plus the expense of resources, keys to get the stage 6s, just to get these cars ready for this. Now, the Lexus, fortunately, because it's been around a few events, plus fusions from the elite tuners, my Lexus was pretty close to max anyway, but the Bentley took a little more work, but ultimately the Bentley fusions, I fortunately also have those, so I'm in very good shape here to go ahead and finish this. Now this is 336. All right, okay, mile per hour was okay. So moving along through this pretty easily with the fully stage 6 and basically fully maxed Lexus here. What if you're missing some stage 6s or fusions? Well, you can see these are not easy challenges. One stage 6 missing with enough fusions missing probably means you're not going to make it. So this is definitely, this is definitely not a super easy challenge by any means. Whew, won that. All right. Very close on that one too. I'm on race 8 out of 7.73. I barely made a 7.704 on that run. And the best I can do is a 7.65 or so. So this is not making me feel that great. Hopefully I don't get stuck on race 8 or 9 here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that Nissan is usually pretty quick. Let's hope. I mean, worst case, I may have to actually go look up the shift pattern for this car and see if I can Woo, I don't know if I got that. Oh, I did. Woo, that was close. All right. Wow. Okay, 7.677 against my 7.673. I don't know. I don't know. I may not make it. I mean, this is much, much closer than almost any cup I've done in recent memory. Oh, this is sucky because this car has to be retuned to do sprints. I have a feeling I'm going to lose this. Yep. So 1.509, that's doable. That means I need to go back and retune. So at least the final race is a sprint, which fortunately we've done that before with the Lexus because of prior events where I had to use it to win the other Lexus LFA for, I forgot what it was. So I think it was a Duality Cup as well. Okay, so with this one, what you want to do is try to do something like this so you can get that 1.472. If I recall correctly, it's kind of launch, skip to third and nitrous, or skip to second and nitrous. Regardless, we should be able to get under that 1.5 the opponent did and go ahead and finish that race. Okay, let's go ahead and run that sprint. Of course, then I have to reset the car back because after that run, I have to go back to the other setup. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Okay, so that time I should have gotten it. Yes, I did. 1.334 against 1.480. So this one was a little faster. But nonetheless, I got it. Go back. And then retune the car back to where it was. So race number 10, whatever I have to run for that, I should be able to get through. So again, as you can see, I do have the Fusion. I'm not going to waste it. Unless I have to put it in, then I'll put it in. But as of right now, I'm going to try not to put it in and see if I can get away with a 7. Wow, I only have a 7.8. That's pretty lame. So I'm actually beating Dyno a little bit with this car. I wonder if I can get... Oh, I can. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, let's see. 7.741. 7.741. All right, let's try it this way and see if I can get a 7.5 something run, hopefully, which should sort of put me in a good position to beat that leg of the race. And then the other 10 is going to be with the Bentley. I'm not so sure that's going to be easy either. Oh, so this is already a relay, and it looks like, oh, that one's a relay too. Speed trap here is going to be difficult. That's a sprint. Sprint, All right, let's see how this goes with this part. It's not fully extreme, which means my chances are good as long as I don't screw this up. So once again, this is not a super simple Evo Cup. This one is actually one of the tougher ones because, again, if the cars that are being used are not that great, it actually makes things harder overall. Okay, that was kind of tight. Not so sure that's a good thing. All right, it reduced to hard. Woohoo! All right, that's a good sign. I have a chance. So this particular relay at least shouldn't be super difficult. This car here is a bit of a fast shifter. Although having driven the F1 a lot, I'm not too worried about using this. It is annoyingly fast, but annoyingly fast also means at least it'll be quick in the quarter mile. So I have about a second margin on this one, 1 second and 3/10 almost. That's a pretty decent margin. So hopefully the second relay isn't that much faster because it's going to be closer, but hopefully not impossible. So that gets you through the Lexus leg of it. And now we're getting to the Bentley leg, and right off the bat comes difficult. So it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard right from the get-go. Much like the Lexus, you're probably going to end up with very tight races. Okay, so that time I hit nitrous where I try to hit nitrous right away and I didn't hit it, and therefore I lose. Alright, so nitrous didn't work, even though I hit the button. 8.187. The best this car is going to do right now is probably around an 8.0. So this is not going to be an easy race. Okay, so that time nitrous on third. Very tight race. And that's only race number 1. So that's not looking great. Alright. Now if this gets into the 7s, then this Bentley would have to be fully maxed. Which means, you know, I may have to also look up the tune and everything else, because obviously something isn't good here for me because I'm not running it that great. Right, here comes number 2. Actually, this one was a little bit slower than the first guy, huh? How about that? Or I ran a little better. Well, he was a little bit slower, and I ran a little better. And yet, again, we need to add gas. Okay. Okay, so the 8.0 is doable. Let's see how far 8.0 will get me. And then we'll see if we get stuck at the end somewhere. Okay, so this is the best I can run this car each time. As long as you don't let the needle nail the red line. I'm using nitrous in third to get those 8.0 runs. I'm pretty sure trying to get nitrous in second is going to be tough. Nitrous in fourth, I think, is too late. So third seems to work pretty good here. Okay, here we go again. Okay, so no bouncing off the red line, and all right, we're halfway there. Halfway. Well, not quite halfway. All right, that was 4 races out of 10. Here comes race number 5, and that one was even better run. That was at 8.044. But I think the dyno is actually like 8.02, so I'm still not even hitting dyno yet. Okay, here we go. One more time. Okay, this one might be a worse run than the last one, and I might lose. I may actually lose. Oh no. What the hell did this guy run? He ran an 8.058. Alright, I know I can beat that. Let's go ahead and get it better. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Ah! Okay, now that's starting to irritate me because... Okay. Alright, let's not waste too much gas pips on this. So let's go back and let's see where my car is, because I think I didn't put in the final stage 6s. I just wanted to see how far I can get without it. And it looks like I need them. Let's take a look. Now, I put in all the good ones. So really, I'm missing turbo and intake. And I can't imagine these two would completely change the dynamic of the car. But hey, at this point, the goal is to just go ahead and finish. So trying to finish it with the without the 2 stage 6s. I'm not so sure these two are going to make that much of a difference in the dyno. It's a 10th, right? So, I mean, there's probably more somewhere I can... Alright. So, you're going from an 8.0 to like a 7.89. So that 2 stage 6s really only gave you about a 10th. But that 10th may be what you need to make the difference to beat this thing, because I still have literally 6 races to go, and I'm already losing with 8.0 dyno, doing about an 8.1 run, unfortunately, because I was having some problems. So let's see if I can get a little better run here. Okay, let's see if I can get... I mean, this one looks like the margin's a lot better because I'm doing like 7.8 something versus 8.0 something. All right, 7.9, 8.1. Oh, so I found a slower guy again. So that gives you a tip. If you, let's say you're right on that 8.0 mark because you don't have the 2 stage 6s and you want to squeeze through. Of course, you could do so with basically going in and out, trying to find a different opponent. All right, so this car sprints pretty good, so I'm hoping I won that. Yes. Okay, 1.401, 1.7, so it's not much of a tough challenge there. The speed trap is going to be the tough one. We know that if the first challenge here isn't that bad, the next one's going to be definitely worse. Okay, let's see what this guy runs. Okay, looks like this guy's 7.9 or 8.0 right on the mark there. Because, yep, 7.984. So you have to get into the 7.9s. Although, arguably, I may be able to find an 8.0, 8.1 guy even at this point. At least an 8.0 guy possibly by going in and out. I don't know because obviously I beat this guy, but there's your faster and faster opponents now, so it's getting kind of hairy. Okay, so this guy here looks like he's coming up on me hard, but okay, held him off. That should be again an 8.0 right near the mark there, 8.019. So again, very, very near the mark on these guys. They're like right there at the 8.0 mark. You know, can I get away with not having one of the 2 stage 6s? Probably. Either missing turbo or missing intake, you may still be able to make it, but certainly it's not an easy thing. Okay, here we go. Okay, barely made that speed trap, 295 miles per hour. I did 300, and that gets us right near our final challenge, which is a relay. And that is going to be for this prize card, Pikes Peak Continental. So, Lexus, all stage 6s. Continental, all stage 6s. This is not an easy cup by any means. I mean, you're talking about 2 cars that has to come into this, basically fully max, missing a fusion or 2. Maybe the Continental get away with missing that 1 stage 6. But basically, 2 fully max cars to get this event done. Alright, so remember we ran the 10.6 with the prior setup for the 2 races and was able to beat the other relay by almost a second. This relay I don't think will be much faster than 10.6. Certainly it might actually be closer to like 10.8, 10.9. We'll find out in a second. Here we go. Okay. So let's see what the combined time is for the opponent. 11.3, 11.7. So it's just as slow as the first relay, which was 11.6 or something along those lines. Now we on this end, it's shaved down to 10.5 from a 10.6. So even without the 2 stage 6s, if you can somehow make it to this point, the relays are not that difficult. It's actually pretty straightforward to just get that done. Now let's go ahead and deliver our car, and then we'll talk about that Continental GT again. I'm going to take one of the stage 6s or 2 off and then see what happens. So this is the Pikes Peak special here. Lots of downforce, which incidentally in real life, lots of downforce means it's not going to drag race as well. So it's not really a good drag car, but who cares, right? It's a game. But if you put that much downforce, usually it's a drag from the downforce actually makes your top speed lower, and therefore for drag racing purposes may not actually help you all that much. But here it is, Continental GT3 Pikes Peak Racecar. I will go ahead and do some testing on this and see if this turns out to be any good as a live racer, and I'll update on that. But that's really what you have here for this event. The point of the Continental GT is that you may be able to actually get away with a little bit less upgrade than full. Let's go back to this guy. So the toughest opponent ran a 7.9 something. I think you can get away with missing one stage 6 and still manage to hit that time, particularly if it's not one of the critical stage 6s, right? So this guy in turbo, we know, generally doesn't do much. So missing one really shouldn't kill you. But that's, again, with full fusions. If you're missing epic fusions, it might be worse. But let's take a look here. Yeah, so the dyno is 7.995. Yeah, I don't know. That's all right. So I take that back. With that dyno, you may have issues. I'm going to do one quick run just to see what it looks like. But again, if you can't run 7.95, let's just say, you're standing a very real risk of not completing this no matter what. Let's see what this car runs. And that was intake, which should be one of the weakest stage 6s. Now you might be able to squeeze by that 7.9 guy by going in and out a few times and finding an 8.0 guy. But if you're doing 8.028, that's, yeah, it's kind of rough. So yeah, this is definitely tough with these stage 6s missing. So again, what it tells you is that to win this prize car, you need 2 maxed out cars with all fusions, all stage 6. If you don't have the parts, or if you don't have the stage 6s, the keys to get them, or whatever it is, if you're missing enough, you're not going to make it. You're going to waste your resources, and you just be frustrated. But of course, the event runs for 6 days plus. You do have some time to go ahead and get there. Oh, so it looks like turbo's worse than intake on this. How about that? So looks like with intake and no turbo, your chances are better, right? So there you go. So you can actually do better potentially with wait, now I can't seem to get that 2001, but oh man, that's frustrating. Okay, all right, enough waste of time. The point is, intake is actually a little stronger than turbo, it looks like, and that's the one. So turbo is the one you can actually potentially be missing and still make it through the entire event. Now, that being said, obviously, missing one stage 6 and its one associated fusion is really fully maxed anyway. So that's it. That's how you can get through this final event here for the Evolution Cup. I hope that some of this information will be helpful to you in some way, but really I have no good news for you other than if you're fully maxed, you make it, and if you're not, you probably won't. Okay? Let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. If you like the video, leave a like. If you like my channel and would like to get notifications when I put up new videos, subscribe, hit the bell, and you get those notifications. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.